Dan Murphy, Peoria, Illinois.
Timmy!
Dan and I have an interesting relationship. It's more based on ribbing each other than anything else.
And I spent hours rehearsing 2 nice things to say about you yesterday.
I sarcastically refer to him as Deadeye. I've always liked to go hunting with him because I get more birds.
We were at a party for a friend. Started talking while I was eating, and I got a little bit of something stuck in my throat. And I did the absolute worst thing that you can do in a situation like that, and that was feel embarrassed about choking and gagging. And so I walked into the house, which was virtually deserted.
Walked into the kitchen, and Marilyn Choate came up, somewhat frantic. You could tell she was serious about something, and she asked, "Do you know how to do the Heimlich?" And I said, "Well, sure, I know how to do the Heimlich." "Well, Tim needs it right now."
And frankly, when he walked through the door, just for a split second, I thought, oh boy, what's he going to do to me?
I said, "Tim, you want the Heimlich," and there's a very specific agreement signal that he had learned.
Dan got behind me and he said, "Timmy, this is going to hurt." And he gave me this gigantic whoomp.
I probably took longer to tell the story than the whole incident took.
And then finally it came out.
And I didn't think very much of it. In fact, I talked to my wife on the way home, and I said, "Oh, by the way, I gave Tim the Heimlich at the party." And she said, "Well, what did you do to cause that?"
I do know that Dan did get an amount of hate mail after he saved my life.
Blue or red? Let me see. Oh, I had red lipstick on that night.
Kind of the irony of all of this is for the past probably 7 or 8 years, Dan and I have gone through CPR classes.
The Red Cross training is superb, and it certainly prepares you for doing something like this.
When I think back on those training sessions, that I would have thought that Dan Murphy would be the guy who would save my life.
You tend to think about the risk of not being prepared more after you've done a procedure like that than I did before.
That was certainly what it took in my case to make sure that I didn't go down for the count.
It's not intuitive to want to be a first responder, but it's a great feeling once you have the skills and you use them from time to time.
He was in a bad mood is what it was.
Not a lot of fanfare. Grab the guy, tell him it's going to hurt, and whack him. That's the nature of Dan Murphy.
But I'm not the hero. The Red Cross is the hero. They enabled me to do the right thing. It didn't feel that great when we did it. Didn't feel that important when we did it, when it all happened. And you know, to be honoring me rather than Red Cross, probably we've got the wrong end of this wagon going down the street.